What if I told you that one of the most respected veterans of the last 2 decades, a player with a championship ring, all-star appearances, and a resume that screams Hall of Fame consideration, is suddenly on the market and might be connected once again to the Golden State Warriors? And what if I told you this player's name has been circling the Warriors for more than 10 years, in trade rumors that nearly changed the history of the NBA forever? Today, we're talking about Kevin Love, his buyout with the Utah Jazz, and whether this time the long-standing connection between him and Golden State finally becomes reality. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button if you enjoy this type of Warriors content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any breaking news and deep analysis. The Utah Jazz are reportedly finalizing a buyout with Kevin Love. At 37 years old, Love is looking for one last run, one last chance to join a contender and possibly close the book on what has been an incredible, decorated NBA career. And the Warriors, right now, stand in a fascinating position. They're searching for balance, experience, and frontcourt depth, all while trying to navigate the twilight of Steph Curry's legendary run. The timing couldn't be more interesting. To really understand why Kevin Love and the Warriors continue to be linked, we need to rewind the clock. Back in 2014, when Love was still in Minnesota, dominating as one of the league's premier big men, there were serious trade talks between the Timberwolves and Golden State. The deal on the table? Kevin Love to the Warriors, while Klay Thompson and Draymond Green would be sent to Minnesota. At that time, Klay was not yet the Splash Brother legend we know today, and Draymond was far from being recognized as the defensive heartbeat of a dynasty. Kevin Love was considered the sure thing, the star, the franchise cornerstone. But then Jerry West stepped in. The logo, serving as a consultant for Golden State, absolutely refused to give up Klay Thompson. His voice carried enormous weight inside the organization, and the deal collapsed. That single decision didn't just shape the future of Golden State, it shaped the future of the entire NBA. With Klay and Draymond staying put, the Warriors built their dynasty, won 4 championships, and transformed the way basketball is played. Meanwhile, Love eventually landed in Cleveland, where he won a title alongside LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. It's wild to think about how close that alternate reality was. Imagine a world where Klay Thompson never became a Warrior legend, or Draymond Green never anchored Golden State's defense. That was the razor's edge moment, and Kevin Love was right in the middle of it. Now, a decade later, the paths cross again. This time, Kevin Love isn't the superstar centerpiece, but rather the seasoned veteran looking to add value in a defined role. And for Golden State, that's exactly the type of low-risk, high-IQ move that could make sense. Love's career is already secure in the history books. He's an NBA champion, a 5-time All-Star, a Most Improved Player winner, and one of the league's best stretch bigs during his prime. His longevity and consistent production put him firmly in the Hall of Fame conversation. What makes this moment so interesting is how well his skill set and personality could fit into what Golden State needs right now. Let's talk about connections. Love has deep roots on the West Coast. He played college ball at UCLA, and his ties to California have always been strong. Over the years, his name has been linked to West Coast franchises multiple times. He also has long-standing relationships inside the Warriors ecosystem. He worked with Steve Kerr during the Olympics, he's shared battles and friendships with Steph and Draymond, and his bond with other stars like Jimmy Butler shows how respected he is across the league. For a locker room that values chemistry, leadership, and trust, that matters a lot. So what role could Love play on the Warriors if a deal were to happen? First, let's be clear, this isn't about heavy minutes. Golden State wouldn't be signing Kevin Love expecting him to anchor the rotation night in and night out. Instead, it's about depth, mentorship, and situational impact. Love's ability to space the floor as a big man is still valuable. He can knock down threes, punish mismatches in the post when needed, and provide a calming veteran presence. Perhaps even more importantly, he could serve as a mentor for Quinton Post, the young big Golden State is hoping to develop. Having someone like Love in the locker room, teaching the subtleties of positioning, rebounding, and spacing, could be invaluable for a young player trying to find his way. Pair that with Al Horford's wisdom, and suddenly Golden State's frontcourt is not just older, it's smarter, more balanced, and better equipped to prepare the next generation. And that brings us to a critical point in this conversation: roster construction. Right now, a lot of the Warriors' reported targets have been guards, names like DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II returning on a deal, or even Seth Curry floating around. But here's the issue: guards are easier to find mid-season than bigs. That's just the reality of the NBA marketplace. And when you look at the Warriors' roster, they already have a collection of young guard depth. Moses Moody is ready to take a bigger role. Brandon Podziemski has shown flashes of brilliance as a playmaker and shooter. And rookie Will Richard adds another layer of potential. So do the Warriors really need another guard? Or should they be looking to add size, versatility, and balance? That's where Kevin Love makes sense. Even if he's not giving you 20 minutes a night, his presence fills a void that guard signings simply don't. Let's also address the concerns. Yes, Love is 37. Yes, he has a history of injuries. And no, he's not the double-double machine he once was in Minnesota. But the expectations here would be completely different. He wouldn't be asked to carry an offense or log heavy minutes. He'd be asked to contribute in small bursts, space the floor, grab key rebounds, and keep the team's composure steady in high-pressure moments. Compare that to the risk of adding another guard like Melton, who has struggled with injuries himself, or relying again on GP2, who has been inconsistent with availability. The risk-reward balance tilts in Love's favor, because at the end of the day, you can never have too much frontcourt depth when playoff matchups get tight. The broader point here is about priorities. Golden State can't afford to just load up on guards while ignoring size. They've been burned before when lacking frontcourt options in playoff series. Adding Kevin Love, even as a situational piece, is a way to hedge against that weakness. And let's not forget, veteran locker room presence can sometimes swing a season. We've seen how much guys like Andre Iguodala meant off the court, even when they weren't playing major minutes. Love could step into that type of role. So where does this leave us? Kevin Love is on the verge of a buyout, looking for a contender. The Warriors are a contender searching for balance. The history between Love and Golden State is undeniable, dating back to the 2014 near trade that never was. Now, 10 years later, the circumstances are completely different, but the opportunity remains. This wouldn't be a flashy signing. It wouldn't dominate headlines. But sometimes the best moves aren't the loud ones, they're the smart, subtle ones that add just enough to tip the scales. And if Kevin Love is serious about making one last run, Golden State might be one of the most logical and rewarding destinations to do it. What do you think, Warriors fans? Would you welcome Kevin Love as a veteran presence on this roster? Do you believe his experience and shooting could still make a difference, or do you think the team should prioritize a different type of move? Drop your thoughts down below in the comments. I want to hear what you'd do if you were in the front office. And as always, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and turn on notifications so you never miss a Warriors update. The season is coming fast, and these are the types of decisions that could define the margins between being good and being great. And here's a tip from the Fan Golden State Warriors channel: study financial education and have opportunities in the financial market by studying REITs and investing in large brokerages around the world.